There we go. So now you're all on notice. Be careful what you say. So this is Steve Dykes. I'm the moderator, and so let's just go around the state and just tell us who you are and who you represent, and let's go up there.
My name is Mike Bastine. I'm the regional director for the South Central Coast. Hello.
Hi, my name's Tyler Hickox. I am the instructional assistant for Sierra College in Rockland.
I'm Colin Denny. I shop teacher at Pleasant Grove High School in Elk Grove.
Rob Hayworth, manufacturing teacher at Laguna Creek High School in Elk Grove.
Jeff Briggs, Regional Director for Advanced Manufacturing for the North Region Community Colleges.
Karen Fraser Middleton, Communication, working with Jeff.
Mike Bell, representing SME in Sacramento Valley. Also teach part-time at Sac State CNC course. And I got a startup.
And I'm Pete Delos, engineering teacher.
Craig Todd, engineering instructor at Monterey Trail.
This is Matt Wynn, Columbus Oaks High School engineering teacher.
Hey, chicken wings.
What's up?
So I guess we got most of it. Craig, you didn't say anything. We got you.
Did you not hear me?
I didn't. I didn't check you off. I'm doing attendance, guys. I got to turn into the office. Okay. Dan Turner, you're gonna. Well, we know you're there, Dan. So let's press forward. So John Zay, Sac City College, you got a couple of things you want to share with us. So John, you know how to share your screen?
Test.
Craig, you're coming through fine.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So John Zay, I see your mouth moving, but I think you're muted, man.
There
you go.
Okay, you can hear me now?
I can hear you now. Take us there.
All right, so I was going to share some screenshots. So I was able to do that the other day. Why can't I do it today? Excuse me?
John, you should be able to share your screen. There should be a button down there that says share screen.
I do. It's a green button, and it says, and I get a pop-up, says you cannot start screens sharing while other participants is sharing.
Oh, Steve, you need to turn off your screen sharing.
Yeah, how do I, because remember we changed everything, so.
There you go.
Now,
got it.
Now try it. I fixed you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'll try. There we go. Okay, so with the beginning, what I wanted to share with you was let me go over here. So first of all, can you see what I put up?
Yeah.
Okay, so we use Canvas. I think all the colleges are using Canvas. So we created a shell just so that all the instructors could have a central communication point. And so leading into that, one of our instructors, and I'm going to bring this up right now,
well, here you are, everybody. I'm going to.
So he using a document camera, and he teaches a math class in this one. So he's using a document camera that he can share with the video can be shared with his students. Also, he can record it and put it in his Canvas shell so the students can see it at any time. So that's working out really well. That particular method. And then I also, if you have a document camera, I think I got rid of it. But anyway, you can go online and just download the software needed for your document camera to make videos with. And then the other thing that we're doing is some instructors are taking their cell phones and especially our adjuncts, they'll videotape certain things at work and put it on Canvas for their students to see, or during their lecture. Like one gentleman, he works downtown at the central plant, so he's videotaping how to take boiler readings. They have to take that once an hour, so then he'll do that, and then he'll show it to his class for lab. So we got most of this stuff for lecture, so it wasn't very hard to go from face-to-face to online with lecture. Where the trouble is trying to find good content for labs. Our goal is to get our students through the last eight weeks of school. So again, this was one method to do this in the boiler class. They have to learn how to take readings, so he's just videotaping it at work and then showing it during his lab classes. And then the other item, which may be of some interest, is let's see. I need to share this. You guys, can you see the new interplay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've muted everybody, but we can see right now the gas furnace components challenge simulation.
Yes. Okay. So that one, this is I'm working with a group of people who are looking at this and seeing if it would be something that we want to we wanted to, at the state chancellor's office, wanted to buy enough site licenses for all the colleges in California. And I'm not sure if it's just HVAC or all of CTE, but this is, I'm going to go ahead and launch this. And that could take a second. So this is a simulator, so the students can actually do some lab work on this. And I don't think it's going to take 2 to 3 minutes to load up. So on this one, I'm just going to turn it, since it's heating, I think I'll turn it on heat. And then I will go, I can go down and look at the unit, right, and see what the unit's doing. I can pull out a toolbox and take a zoom in here, and I can measure, sometimes I can measure some voltages. Yeah.
John, if you're showing us something right now, I'm not seeing it.
Okay, so let me, I'm trying to figure out why you're...
It only shares one screen at a time. So if you went to a different screen, you have to click the share screen button and select the right screen.
Okay. So, new screen. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So so this is an interactive simulator, like I said. So right now I'm checking a furnace to see if I have any voltage coming in.
We're looking at your background screen now, not the panel.
Looking at my background screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had it for just a second.
So
There we go.
Oh, okay. You know why? Because okay, that's why. All right. So anyway, I can take a meter and I can check different voltages and see what's going on. I'm not getting any volts there. I can go over here and I can check like the blower motor and see what's going on. So there's different components that the students can go in and troubleshoot why a furnace is not working, right? And then there's a tutorial that goes with it, which just lays out what all the components are, and when you go through the troubleshooting mode, it shows you what to look for. So we're using that quite a bit, or hopefully we will be able to use that quite a bit. And again, I have a meeting on Friday with a few other people, and at that point in time, the state chancellor's office is going to decide whether or not they're going to invest funds into this program. We're also using something very similar to this through Cengage. I think a lot of you guys get you get your books through Cengage, and they're offering. They have a HVAC simulator that they're offering free for the next couple months. And then the other item is, and I think I might have lost it, is Labvolt is offering some free, free, I would say lesson plans. They don't really have a simulator, but they do have some material on welding, if anybody's interested, and they're offering that for free of use for the next 2 months. Okay, I think I might be able to bring it up real quick.
So John, the one that you just clicked off of, who offers that simulator? The first one you showed us.
Oh, that's through Interplay.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, I don't know why that's doing that, but now I lost you all completely, right? So anyway, I'll give it back to you.
John, this is great. Thank you very much.
So that's what we're doing, okay? And I could say this much is recording the lectures and then putting them on Canvas. It's really helping the students connect, and they're doing a much better job at comprehending what the instructor's trying to say, especially in the math classes, because they can review the lectures over and over. So, and that's extremely helpful.
I'm just curious, how many others on the call have used a document camera before? I used them when I taught up at Sierra. I taught the drafting classes up there. Have others have tried a document camera before?
No.
Steve, did you just ask me a question?
I just asked if you've used document cameras before.
I have. Most of the time I do a screen saver right now.
Okay.
I'm using a product called Camtasia that goes, it's a pretty neat little program that just will record any part of your screen. So if you have a video playing on your screen, you could just record it as you were doing something else. You could crop it, you could edit it. We also have access to Adobe Premiere. A lot of colleges right now have the Adobe Cloud will let you download Adobe Premiere, which allows you to edit videos, screen record, screen capture, and Zoom does it also. Probably the easiest is Camtasia so far.
Yeah, I see more. I see this is kind of where we're all going to be going. We may have to do some training this summer on these software.
I could show people how to use Camtasia pretty quickly at a later date if you want me to.
I think that might be something worthwhile, Dan. That'd be good.
I think there's also a whiteboard mode on Zoom, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a whiteboard mode on Zoom. In fact, I'm covering that tomorrow on a webcast I'm doing at the Well Dead Resources Facebook group. And it's open to anybody that wants to. I sent the link to Steve if you guys want to jump on. I have Steve Hidden from Miller Electric talking about all the Miller Electric educational software and opportunities for instructors. And I also have, I'm going to be doing Camtasia and then the whiteboard on Zoom. And I think Bob Moffat's going to help out with that one.
So if I could interject, I talked to a couple of instructors that given the option between the whiteboard on Zoom and using a dock camera, it's a lot easier to take the document camera. All right.
I found the dock camera really easy to use, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, one other question for you, John, and for Dan. So if we go with this route, is this accessible to any student that has online access, regardless of whether they're doing it on their phone, a tablet, or a laptop, or a computer?
What do you mean?
Well, in other words, so if I'm doing the simulator, as an example, online, do I have to be on a computer, or can I also see it if I can see it on my smartphone or a tablet?
Well, there's a drawback with the interplay,
Okay.
and it would be that you need 64-bit system.
Oh my, okay.
And it needs to be a window base.
Okay.
Okay, now and then I'm not sure about the Cine-Gauge, what operating systems you can run that on.
Okay.
Okay.
Just things to be aware of as you start going after these things. Well, is it available and accessible for our students? So,
right.
Equity. John, thank you very much. Any other questions for John before we move on?
Steve, I was going to answer your question about on the phone and accessible by the phone. I do know that any video that we record and put up, they can watch. But as far as the simulators go, I do not know at this time because I haven't used them.
Okay. Just something to think about if you're going to do any purchasing or anything, if they're even allowing that now in your schools.
Well, actually, these simulators hopefully are going to be free of charge.
Okay.
The one that we're getting.
Right. Well, that'll be outstanding. I think a lot of people are willing to help education right now. So now's the time to kind of do a little shopping and figure out what you want. This could be kind of cool. Again, thank you, John. Hey, so real quick, on Monday, we had a poll, and I was asking who wanted to volunteer to maybe do a presentation on one of these upcoming calls. And for whatever reason with technology, we weren't able to capture who raised their hand or who volunteered. So is there anybody on this call that I can write down, and I'll talk to you offline about it, would be willing to do a quick presentation on what you're doing and what you found successful?
Hey Steve, I haven't taught anything yet, so I'd like to try it out first.
Well, I can appreciate that. Well, you got till next Tuesday, man. So do you want to, Colin, you want to try anything between now and next Tuesday?
Right now I'm just working on some Onshape tutorials and some Tinkercad circuit stuff.
Well, so Tinkercad was the next thing on the agenda. So let me throw this out while you're thinking about, you're ruminating on my requests for presenters. You know, any of you were on the call on Monday, and Dee and I think John Peros was on last Thursday from Autodesk. And they connected me with the person, Randy, who's in charge of the Tinkercad. And he sent me a bunch of resources if you're curious or interested in using Tinkercad.
Can you send the links out, Steve?
I'm going to send those out to you after this call, either later today or tomorrow. And he sent me some great resources. Tinkercad's free. I'm able to actually even do it on my phone, which could give access to a lot of kids. So Tinkercad's something to consider. It's not a high-level modeling program in any form or fashion, but again, you've got to find ways to engage students, because I'm concerned we're going to start losing them.
I plan just using Tinkercad circuits, not the not the modeling part, and
Okay.
just do some basic parallel series. You know, there's a little Arduino component for my students that have some programming interest. So,
would you be interested in taking 5 minutes or 7
yeah,
minutes?
sure. Also, I'll say I have a classroom account and a student account, and I can kind of show how that's all. I got to work on setting that up anyway. So, yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So, Steve, John here, can I share the screen one more time? Because I
Please
found
do.
Yeah. May I?
Please do.
Okay. So you guys can see this list of topics. Yeah. So this is from Labvolt, and they're not simulators on these, but they are kind of like ebooks. So, and there's quite well, there's some things that I think some of the people might be able to use, like welding. There's a welding academy. I don't know about who's doing engines, but Steve, I will email you this list along with the contact name of the person to get a hold of if anybody's interested.
Perfect. That'll be great, John, because I could see things I would use right away: industrial safety, safety awareness, quality control. I think that all of us could use something like that.
Yeah, and then the program from Interplay, they also do have a segment in lockout blockout. So there's some things that might be somewhat universal, and if this goes through, I'll send you the list.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on. So Rob, are you ready to show us some of the cool things you're doing? Your Torchmate simulator, screencast, Omatic, your GoPro, and some of your videos, things like that?
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, you're up.
Okay, can I get John to stop screen sharing?
Well, I think Steve needs to take it away. There you go.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, anyone can unshare themselves, but it's probably easier for me to.
Okay.
All right, so share that. Okay, so I've got a number of different things going. I teach manufacturing classes. We also have just this year we were awarded a SWP grant where we purchased 4 new Tormach mills, and so we have a total of 5 Tormachs. So during this time I'm kind of taking the opportunity to teach my students conversational programming with those. And so I'm having to use a lot of new different tools that are kind of new to me. So I just want to kind of give a brief overview of what those things look like and some of the other things that we're doing in my classes. How do you hide that top bar? Oh, shoot. Ah, darn it, I've got this this thing at the top of my screen that I can't get around. Okay, well, moving on. So with some of my kids, I have they're doing their OSHA 10 training online. They have been doing that a little bit during this semester, but this costs $25 a student. So I don't know if it's something you can just jump in and start doing, but it is a completely online self-paced tutorial. From a teacher standpoint, it really is quite easy. I'm gonna go ahead and log in. And I'll just be brief with this because, you know, there's a lot of different things out there and I don't know how applicable this is to everyone, but there's different courses here, and I have some kids doing OSHA 10, and I also just got some seats of this interview skills training, which, you know, we've got to teach our kids a lot of soft skills. We've got to get our kids certificates. or industry recognized certification. So there's, this is a good possibility for distant learning if you can do that. The interview skills is cheap. It's a site license. Off the top of my head, I can't think how much it is, but it's expandable. They just sent me, because I was already subscribed in for 25 total seats. I asked for more and they said, sure, you can have 75 more. And if you need more, just let me know and we'll get you more. And the cost is $0. So I can now expand that out to other kids. But what they do is they go through these different modules where there's video, and it's kind of like a screencast type thing that they watch. They answer quizzes and things. And then in the end, what you do is it gives you a breakdown of how kids are doing on various things. But this is what the gradebook looks like. Don't look at kids' names, I guess. But as you go through, these are all kids from years past. This is my current group right now, and I've assigned up through walking, working, surfaces. And you can see some kids have continued and they've completed these other modules. At the end of each module, they take a quiz, they get graded on that quiz, and they have to score 70% or better. If they don't score 70%, it shoots them back to the beginning of that module, and they have to complete it again. If they fail it 3 times in a row, which you can see that, you have a kid here that says second attempt. If they fail it 3 times in a row, then what happens is then they have to get a approval to take that one more time. And so that has to come through me. Anyway, it's an easy way to have them get, OSHA 10, that is an industry recognized certification. That's something that is pretty achievable to have our kids do. Something that you might want to look into. Yeah.
Who pays the $25? The student or the school?
Well, in our case, that comes out of our Perkins funds at the high school level. Different districts, different schools may do it different. You could maybe have the kids pay for that. The college systems that's an entirely different deal. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? Alrighty. Okay, so that's my OSHA 10 and the interview skills thing I got going on. Another thing that I have going, I'm sorry, this is kind of annoying. The banner at the top for when you're sharing your screen is in the way of all my tabs.
So Rob, can I ask, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, John.
Sorry, I just got back on the audio. So I had a question on the OSHA. Is that, which one are you teaching, the safety or the general?
General.
The general, okay.
General industry. And they have other ones that are specific to like construction and other stuff like that too.
Hey, on that bar, do you see a green tab that you might see some?
That's how you move it. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Okay. So then another thing is I have my class where they learn how to use the Tormox and stuff in there. We got these things set up and running, and then boom, school closed. So it was horrible timing on that. But we have a machine in our wood shop, this dual drum sander that has these metal plates at the bottom of their screw posts that raise the table up and down. And these things develop little burrs in there, and then it seizes. So I designed some new metal plates. And so these metal plates will fit a thrust bearing inside there, and that'll take the weight, and it's also a little bit larger diameter in the middle, so it won't rub. So I want kids to be able to design this and machine this with conversational programming. And so the nice thing with the Tormox is they have an online simulator that's called PathPilot Hub. And so if you go to hub.pathpilot.com, then you can go in and you can log in, or you can create an account and then you log into it. When you log into it, what pops up is the same interface that you would have if you were standing at the machine. And in that interface, that's where you do all your conversational programming. I've been talking with people at Tormach and kind of working out a few little problems that I've been running into. If using something like PathPilot is something that you want to do for your class, shoot me a line, text me, email me, or whatever, and I'd love to talk to you about this, because I found a few little pitfalls here and there. One of which, this is a pretty darn accurate simulation of what the mill would be like, and so you can crash it. Since you're not actually at the machine, what do you do for your work offsets and stuff? So you actually have to put in some work offsets, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do that, which we worked through this morning. And so I've learned how to do that. And then there's also some specific ways that you need to save your work when you do this. Just as an example, I have this profile toolpath here, and usually after you do this profile toolpath, then what you do is you go post to file. And usually the screen that you get is this one right here. If you save your toolpath anywhere, you're going to lose it. That once you log out here, it wipes it clean. So you have to save everything that you're doing in virtual PathPilot files. So you got to open that one, and it's only that folder that stays with you and is linked with your account. But in order to teach kids how to do that, I'm having to learn some new things. And Camtasia was mentioned earlier in this call, and I went the cheap route. I've been using Screencast-O-Matic, and Screencast-O-Matic is a screen capture software. There's another one that also has Screencast in his name. Can't remember what it is, but apparently also syncs up with
Screencastify. Was that the one?
Yeah, it might be that. Yeah, I think it's all part of the G Suite for Education stuff, or has a app or link or whatever you call those. But this is really a pretty easy deal. It's free, or you can upgrade, and Upgrade has some video editing stuff. But you launch the recorder, and for the free one, I'll just click this right now. I'm not actually going to record anything, but you launch that recorder, and then it says, you want to open that? Yeah, I do. And it'll think about it for a sec, and then what ends up happening is this little window will pop up in the lower left corner. And this is where you can set your parameters of what you want to record. Can you see that black and white line around the top of my screen there? That's the boundary of what I want to record. If I only want to record half the screen, I could do that, or you could do the full screen. I've been using my little earbuds just because I got other things going on around me, and having it on my neck just kind of limits some of that background noise. But you go ahead and you record this. It limits you to 15 minutes. But if you're going longer than 15 minutes, you're losing your students. So what I'll do is I'll record, and I have had some that just, you end up going through this and, okay, you hit the limit or something, and you can start another video. But I've been taking all my videos, and I've been using iMovie. We also have a Mac. So I've been using iMovie to edit and annotate and do all sorts of, I kind of nerd out on it, honestly, but do all sorts of little things to show those videos in a little bit better way. And so been working on those videos and trying to put them into a playlist. So I've been learning how to do stuff with YouTube. And so this is one of my playlists. This is our conversational programming. And the funny thing is I have 2 completed videos, but I have like 6 more that I'm working on. And working on editing the videos takes a while. But in each one of those, you know, I have them in order. In fact, these videos, in their descriptions, they say, you know, this is the first video, this is the second. What I'll probably go back through is I'll probably change the titles to like 1, conversational programming, 2, conversational programming, just so kids know what the order is. What else? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question for you, Rob.
Yep.
So we're using Tormac too for our CNC courses. Would you be interested in working with our instructor?
You know,
Sure.
John, I've talked with Neil quite a bit, and he's fully aware of this. He's been working with Tormac quite a bit. In fact, Rob, you should get his information. He's looking for this kind of stuff, and I don't know exactly where he's at. He and I were going to talk on Friday, so that might be a good resource too. I mean, he's a good guy too.
Yeah. So
yeah. Hey Rob, this is Pete. I'm having some connectivity issues, and I missed a little bit in the beginning. But how are you getting to the virtual PathPilot thing?
So the web address, can you see on your screen right now? Is
I lost my video feed, so I called back in on my cell phone. But if you tell me the web address, I can type it in.
Hub, HUB, .pathpilot, all one word, .com.
Okay.
And then what that'll do is that takes you in there and you create a little account.
Okay.
And then you just log in each time.
Okay, cool. And then I could have my kids would be able to log in and practice programming through that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. I'm going to explore that.
And you know, I'm totally open to sharing whatever I create with this. I've got like, for example, so kids have a print of this part, what it's going to be, and I included a view here with shaded stock so they can see like where it is in the stock. I end up explaining a lot here that, look, this is actually, the part is 50 thou under the top surface and it's 200 thou above the bottom surface. So, you know, we got to go through and we're going to face that off and everything. So there's a print for that. I also, in doing this, I created a tool database that we have for our mills. And you can see that there's a bunch of blanks and it's open for assigning new tools as we go. But in the videos, I refer to this as our tool database. So that way, when we say, hey, we're using tool number 4, what RPM and what's our maximum axial depth of cut or radial depth of cut and so on.
Okay, cool.
If you're going to be using this, Pete, let's definitely talk sometime about some of these little pitfalls that I found with PathPilot.
Okay.
And I've been talking with people at Tormac, and they're working like around the clock because they know a lot of teachers are going, hey, this is an online CNC mill simulator right here, and there's not much out there. So they're trying to make it as available as possible to people.
That's awesome.
Rob, this is great stuff.
Thank you.
A little bit about your lean manufacturing project you got your seniors doing. I think it's a great idea.
Well, so my seniors have been learning about lean manufacturing, and so now it's like, okay, what are we going to do for lean manufacturing at home? And I didn't come up with this idea. I can't remember who I got it from. It might have even been Colin. But it's about them creating a lean project at home. At this point right now, with what our school district is looking at for our movement forward, is what are we going to do to teach these kids, especially in these shop classes, when we have no idea what kind of materials they have access to. I mean, do I even know if our kids have a drill at home? So one of the things that I've been sort of roughing out with a coworker of mine is this spreadsheet that's kind of oh boy, not to sound too educationalist, but like vertical integration of our classes. So we've got kids in our program that are 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And some kids are in our advanced manufacturing program. And so there are 3 strands that we want to carry through with these. One is like personal development. So or soft skills. Another one is technological development. How are they staying up on their technology? and skills development, some other kind of skills. And so I'm roughing out different types of lessons, or the 3 major areas where I'm going to score each class. And so, for example, in my 12th grade class, they're the ones that are doing their OSHA 10. They're going to be actually taking online tours of manufacturing businesses. And honestly, look, seniors are checked out right now. Anyway, they know that their year is over. So this manufacturing business online tour, hell, these things are like 10-minute YouTube videos, and they're going to answer a Google form questionnaire about each one of these, and we're going to call it good. And then they're going to do lean manufacturing at home. So lean manufacturing at home, they're going to improve their efficiency. They're going to eliminate waste by going to their hall closet or going to their junk drawer in the kitchen and taking photos before, during, and after they go through and gut it and organize it, create some sort of organizational system that they could access things quicker and with less waste. So that's a side benefit of that is, hey, it gets the parents on our side too. And
Rob, this Dyke is curious. Do you have this in your lab as well? Some lean, 5S type things around?
Yeah, we've done lean projects in the shop. We need to do a ton more. The thing that I was hoping to really focus on until the school year went in the crapper was working on lean projects in our new advanced manufacturing lab. So where all these Tormach mills are, we're setting up that whole shop as lean manufacturing, but that'll have to wait till next year.
So Todd, Rob rather, can I get your email address?
Yeah, anyone can have this. RHAWORTH at EGUSD, like Oak Grove Unified School District.
Okay.
And that's a .net.
A .net, okay.
If you want my phone number, 916-835-1408.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass this on to Neil, and
okay.
then maybe you guys could chat.
All right.
Rob, this is Dacus. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing good resources with us.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, let me know.
Yeah, we got a few.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say thanks too. I'm logged into the PathPilot hub and just looking around, and this is awesome. This looks exactly like the interface we have at school. And
yeah,
really
what you're
cool.
going to see on there is it's like you have a bad connection when you're using PathPilot online, and you don't. It just is that slow. So
yeah,
but it works.
But it works. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Dacus. I'm going to, when we're all done here later this afternoon or real early tomorrow morning, I'm going to send out the link I got on Tinkercad for those of you who didn't want it. Also, Dan Turner, I'll send out what he's forwarded to me for his session tomorrow that he talked about a little while ago. What else? What else you guys want to talk about before we ring off?
I don't know. What?
I'm sorry. Did anybody hear today that Governor Newsom's saying that the schools are going to be closed till the end of the academic term?
Right.
That was his announcement today. What do you think?
I did hear a rumor. Yeah, I had heard it confirmed.
That was his news briefing today.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we need to hear from our local LEAs for the word to actually get down to the classrooms. I mean, the governor can say stuff, but until my boss says it, I'm like,
right.
Okay.
I just thought I'd throw it out there. 10 weeks of fun, guys and gals.
So one question, please. Or have you guys heard anything what you're going to do in the fall?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
No word yet, anyway. Yeah.
That's been a bit of an issue for me. They keep saying this new normal thing, and I want to say, like, how is this a new normal? I thought we're just getting through this. So I'm a little apprehensive. I've heard some parents say stuff like, "Hey, if this goes really well, why don't we just do this?" I don't. Honestly, I'm gonna get through this 10 weeks. Hopefully, makes me a better teacher, and I'm expecting to go back to what I think is normal in the fall.
Yeah, that's my hope as well. That's what I want to do.
But I like this kind of stuff because now I can do stuff at home with students. I can say, hey, I could assign homework. If I get this Tinkercad up and running, like that's going to be my intro to circuits unit. So that'll be done deal. And so I'm hoping to roll all this stuff out. So it's not just a waste. That's one thing I don't want to do is do all this stuff and never use it again because we're working like crazy right now. So I only want to do stuff that is actually going to be applicable to my classroom.
You know, honestly, it's been on my to-do list for a while too to do some video how-to stuff and make it available for my kids so that if, you know, like most kids don't get it the first time you go over it. And so then having it, you know, where they can look it up and review it at their leisure, it's something I've really wanted to get to. So I'm kind of, in a way, glad to have sort of have the circumstances pushed that to the top of my to-do list.
Hey guys, I got to step out. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time. And Steve, send me an email and I'll work on that Tinkercad stuff.
Excellent. We'll be in touch. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. So just as a sidebar here, I made a video in the fall of I don't know. I think how to make a flared fitting or something like that, and it was for a lab assignment. We put it on Canvas. And we found out two things. One, when the students viewed it on the campus computer, we don't have any sound, so they couldn't hear what we were saying, right? But more importantly, the students wouldn't use their cell phones to tap into it and Canvas and watch the video because it ate up their data. So it was just kind of interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
Did you guys get the text from Verizon that they're giving more data away to Verizon users so that they can actually do schoolwork on their phones, and also they can use their phone as a hotspot?
Yes.
I did get that text.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, how did you get around the data limit that Canvas has for you? Evidently, there's a site that you could upload videos that you could just have a video library that you could draw from that does not take up your class space. But I haven't found it.
I don't think we had that problem. We haven't had that problem yet. So, and we may, within the next couple of weeks, reach the peak of that mountain as we keep loading things up. But that's something to be aware of.
I can download one video, but when I try to upload a second, it says I'm out of space.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, we haven't experienced that problem.
So any other thoughts to share with the group this afternoon before we go enjoy this marvelous weather? That's what I thought.
Yep.
So I'm proposing that we hold another call next Tuesday afternoon, 3:30. Ian's already
good to me.
Presenters. I'll try to get somebody else to present something. And hopefully this is of value to everybody. You getting something out of it?
It's definitely been of great value to me. I'm really excited. I had no idea about this PathPilot thing, and that's going to be, you know, we use PathPilot and Tormach in class, and so now having a way that the kids can practice that at home is fantastic.
Just get one thing out of all these sessions together.
If anything, it also gives faces to names and names to faces, and also resources that a lot of people didn't know about.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're really trying to do, is we're trying to create a community, and everybody seems to be willing to give their phone number or this or this. I'll help you. That's what teachers are all about. So that's what's so cool. Well, shall we call it good today?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks all for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot, guys.
5 o'clock, right?
5 o'clock somewhere.